Hey everybody, Dalton Mack with Second Scout Training Solutions, and today we're going to talk about EDC, or everyday carry. The things that we as people that carry for self-defense have on our pockets, or in our pockets on a daily basis. Now what I will not do is include random things that I might carry sometimes. Everything that I'm going to show today are things that I always carry. You can guarantee that if you see me in public, I have these things on me 100% of the time. Now, with that being said, I want to talk about specifically what firearm I carry, what rounds I carry, the holster that I carry, why I carry those, and what you can do differently to help get you a better, even more comfortable carry. I won't push any holster brands. I'm not going to do any of that stuff, just a type of holster or a specific cut that can help you. And more so ones that are going to do nothing but probably get you killed or result in losing control of your firearm. So, with that being said, we're going to get straight into my firearm and the things that I keep in my pocket. Okay, so this here is everything that I keep on me within legal reason, all day, every day. If I'm seen in public, at a minimum, I have these things on me. I don't have included anything that I might put in my pocket, sometimes like a pocket knife, but this is everything that I will have guaranteed on my body daily. Hence, everyday carry. So we're going to start over here with my keys. Keep a little glass breaker seatbelt cutter thing on it from Walmart. I think I got it at a gun show because I fell for that a few years ago. Paid overpriced for it at a gun show, thought I needed it, and it does in fact work. I have the need to replace this is real. I mean, the seatbelt cutter is rusted, however it will still cut, but the glass breaker is phenomenal. I have used this on real glass and it does in fact work. I was worried about it when I bought it. Thought it might have been a little bit scammy, and fortunately I had a buddy who had a glass door with glass in it that he was willing to let me test it on, and it does break vehicle glass the way it's intended to. Next we have a can opener. This is back from the old COVID days whenever I thought that I was going to be wandering the streets with a backpack alone like the Lone Ranger, but it hasn't happened and I just haven't taken it off. It's only came in handy like twice. Obviously I have a real can opener here at home, but I have used this for funsies just because I have it on me and a can needs opened in my vicinity. So I like it, it stays. Moving on to my wallet, I use a Dango wallet. I've had it for about probably 3 years now, and it does what I need it to do. It carries all my stuff, and in addition, it has this nice little multi-tool. I say nice loosely. It does nothing great, and it does some things okay, but it has came in handy. I've used it on job sites and stuff, or just daily life if a box needs open, stuff like this. Would it be easier to have a knife? Yes. I'm trying to get into the habit of carrying one more, but I'm not putting that here because I currently do not carry it everywhere I go. But this little multi-tool has came in handy in a pinch when I've needed it to, so I keep it around. All right, moving on to the meat and potatoes here. So here we have my firearm, which is an IWI Masada. For everybody's warm and fuzzies, it is unloaded, but we'll talk about the ammo and the magazine. So the magazine is a 17 round mag that comes stock with this pistol. When I bought it, I've bought some additional ones since. However, I don't personally carry additional magazines on my body. I keep this one in the pistol. Now, as for ammunition, I carry Hornady Critical Defense ammunition. I love it, 9mm. I mean, it does what it needs to do ballistically, and I trust this round. I've shot this stuff out of my pistol. I don't get to take it out much and shoot this because, I mean, it's expensive, and you know, you can't just go dropping this type of price point for funsies at the range. If you can, fantastic. Let me get your number. I can't do that. But I have tested it, I do enjoy it, and you can look up tons of information about this round, and ballistically it does exactly what you want a hollow point round to do. So I'm not going to talk too much about overpenetration and why I carry hollow points. I can make a separate video on that, but that is what I currently carry. Now, I carry a Lag tactical holster cut specifically for this firearm. The reason being, universal holsters just don't do anything well, right? They fit a wide array of handguns, but they don't do anything great. And my standards have went up for what I expect a holster to do, so I spent the extra money to get one specifically cut for my firearm, and I love this holster. I had no idea this brand existed, Lag Tactical. I don't even know if it's supposed to be Lag or LAG. I don't know how they say it, but their holster does really well for the IWI Masada, and I enjoy it. It's comfortable. I have no problems carrying with it. That seems to be a big problem why people don't carry more often is comfort. I have zero problems with this holster, and I just prefer not to use universal equipment when it comes to what I carry my firearm on. Some things you want from a holster are going to be, you want it to fit the firearm securely, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. You want it to be able to hold the firearm whether you're in a ground fight or running around or whatever the case may be. You don't want this pistol coming loose. You want it to cover the trigger guard completely. Nothing could get in here aside from like a paper clip at most, and I don't keep a paper clip in my waistband. Nothing can get in here. Universal holsters, you can usually get a pinky in there pretty well with a little bit of a shimmy, and you just don't want your firearm going off accidentally. This firearm does not feature a safety, so I'd like to keep things off the trigger because I do have the barrel pointed at my man bits and my femoral artery, so I'd like the trigger not to go off by something getting pushed in there. So great holster. I spent the extra money. I want something that fits. I carry this every day, so I want something that I know I'm safe with carrying this firearm every day. Now, as for the pistol itself, this is an IWI Masada. As I mentioned, it does not have an external safety unless you count the trigger, which is technically a safety, but it is not a traditional manual safety you have to lift. It is here on the trigger. It comes pre-cut for this optic, which is the Holosun 407 Charlie X2. I like this optic. I would probably switch to a red dot, an actual pinpoint red dot, when I get the chance to, but for right now, this does what I need it to do, and it does it very well. I've taken it out at about 35, 40 yards, and I'm happy with the results that I've been able to get out of this firearm and this optic combination. So, nothing too crazy about this firearm. I did like the fact it was pre-cut. I probably would have never got around to getting it cut until maybe recently. To put an optic on, I would have just been running irons, but I didn't have an excuse since this was already pre-cut. So I do enjoy it in that regard. Now, nothing other than the fact that I've put probably close to 5,000 to 6,000 rounds, which isn't a crazy amount, but it's more than most people do, and I've had zero problems with this firearm. The only thing it really doesn't like is like aluminum ammunition. It's not the world's biggest fan of that, but it does cycle it just fine. I just happen to have more stoppages when I'm using that as opposed to brass, but really a negligible amount. But a negligible amount in a life or death situation is an amount that I'm not willing to go, so I do carry the rounds that I talked about for that reason also. Now, this firearm is, I think I got it for about $500 about 400 years ago, give or take, and I don't regret it. I carry this firearm regardless of the seasons. I carry it summer, winter, spring, fall, doesn't matter. I always have it. I don't change my firearm depending on the season. Some people do. I just don't. I'm able to conceal this regardless of the season fairly well, and most people don't know that I'm carrying. So that's the point of concealed carry. Give you one roundabout look of the firearm. I enjoy this firearm. I enjoy shooting. It's fun to shoot. It's easy to shoot. And it also, for the price point and the performance that I've got out of it, I'm not upset at all. So now that we've gone over everything that I have on me on a daily basis, my EDC, again, everyday carry, let's talk about why I choose to have these things. So to start with that, I'm going to say some people think that the idea of self-reliance, self-sufficiency, or just being independent is crazy, or you're a nut job or a doomsday guy. You're scared. I'm none of those things. I'm not scared. I'm not crazy. And I'm not necessarily a doomsday prepper, right? I just believe in keeping myself and my family alive in situations that do happen, right? Regardless of how you feel about life, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and crazy shit happens all the time. Be that tornadoes, be that an earthquake, be that a mass shooting, be that anything. Crazy stuff happens all the time, and I just simply refuse to be a victim. I refuse to be a 27-year-old able-bodied man who looks at a catastrophic event and says, "Oh, I hope somebody handles that," when I could handle it myself. So that's just the stuff I keep in my body, and that's why I'm just a huge advocate for self-reliance. Being able to handle your business in a way that you need to make sure that you and your family stay alive. I don't want to rely on the police officers. I don't want to rely on paramedics. I don't want to rely on emergency services like ambulances if I can stabilize myself in that moment. An example would be, If somebody's kicking in your front door, you have to now make a decision. Call for help or barricade yourself or a combination. Now you got to make that phone call. Now that phone call has to go through. Somebody has to answer. And you have to be able to give accurate information to make sure that the appropriate responding force gets to your house. You're already wasting minutes when seconds count. That's the whole principle of the situation. Minutes go by. Because now let's say it goes through and they're on the other side of town handling a domestic dispute. Now they have to get there. By the time they arrive, through no fault of their own, just the way the system's designed, your shit's gone, you're gone, or your family is gone. Nobody's kicking in your front door to tell you hello. This just doesn't happen. If it's a fire, you want to have some stuff set aside that you can throw out the window or whatever the case may be, that you can continue to survive and live if you don't have family that'll take you in. If it's a storm, same thing, earthquakes, have some stuff that you can go and live off of if you have to. Things can be taken away in the blink of an eye, and I think we often forget that. And that's my key point. I just choose to give myself the best chance possible to keep myself and my family alive and safe during life's worst moments. Because they do happen. So with that being said, be safe, be self-reliant, and remember, seconds count.